Good afternoon. How are you? Well, today it's a scorcher. I'm not in a bathing suit, but it's 56 degrees, so it feels pretty good. And I've had a busy day on some of my cases, so this is welcome. As you can see, I'm dressed for work, and because it's warm enough, I didn't think I'd have to change. The stories revolve around kind of the same things. The dystopic drift in our nation, at home and abroad. And in particular, we had the RNC talk about the legitimate political discourse that occurred on January the 6th. Well, I don't think we have to chase that around very much in terms of the truth of the matter. Plainly, it's not true. But what it does tell us is that they are prepared to lie because they are concerned about the charges that what happened on January the 6th with the complicity probably of the RNC, but also Republican senators and congressmen went forward. And they hoped it would go forward up to and including ousting Biden as the designated president of the United States and installing the man who lost the election. So there's that. I think it's an interesting development that the minority leader in the Senate, Mr. McConnell, came out and said that you shouldn't be doing that in terms of segregating and attacking those two Republicans on the January 6th committee who have a different view of the rightness and wrongness of what Trump did. That's pretty interesting. But I think what it really says is that we should be investigating the RNC, because the Republican National Committee, we don't know, but there were stories of it being used by Trump for his purposes. And if that's the case, that's an elephant of a different color. So the Democratic Select Committee, the January 6th Insurrection Committee, is about to issue some more subpoenas. I don't know who. There are a couple of names floating around. I might be on with Ari about them. But it hasn't happened, and if it does happen, I may or may not be on. But they're going at ramming speed. They're going like real investigators should. The trouble is the deficit and how they can enforce whatever they find. And there's no indication that referrals to the Justice Department will have any weight with the Justice Department when the Justice Department is paralyzed over what to do about the reference on Meadows and whether or not he should be prosecuted for a simple misdemeanor. So how do you deal with that? We have now turning from the kind of political stuff to a different kind of political stuff, which is what about the pandemic? Well, we have senators here in Virginia, Democrats, who are allowing for the opt-out mask program of our alt-right governor, Youngkin. It's outrageous. And I've made a couple of notes about what kind of Democrats do we have in the state Senate who would take these positions. It's amazing. It's a failure, it seems to me, of leadership, of will. And also, it contradicts the science. The CDC is still saying, you got to wear masks. Yes, there may be encouraging signs, but we're not out of it yet. And this will just stoke the fires. I thought of it as like throwing a log on a dying fire. And what do you think happens when it ignites? And we've been through this before. It's not novel. We have watched it grow and spread and so forth in the past. We have up in Canada, we have trucks stalling because they want the freedom to have no masks, no vaccinations, and in the case of going across the line, no passports to prove that you're clean and so forth of the disease. It's a terrible world we live in, you know. And as for what we're saying offshore about Ukraine, it's really no better. We got planes and ships and men on the ground covering the three sides of Ukraine by the Russians, not by us. And so it's pretty clear that what's going to happen is they can fire at will and seize the nation. And I think that it's not lost on Putin. If he's telling everybody they're massing, some people are going to leave, others are going to stay and figure it doesn't matter which government we have. And Putin's going to try to clean this up in a day or so. So that's my take on the news. If I see you tonight, that'd be terrific. Otherwise, get out. Probably won't be this warm again for who knows how long. All the best. Bye-bye.